Brazil has reached 2016. Just 2 years after the World Cup, things are moving fast to be ready to host the Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. The World Cup was a fiasco unless you are a bird. If any birds are watching, you have a new multi-million-dollar bird sanctuary. Formerly a soccer statue in the middle of nowhere. But the Olympics will help build infrastructure in the areas of Rio that need it most. Right? Well, not exactly. The Olympics will be held in an area that, while it has its fair million share of the poor, was built for the wealthy in the mid-60s. This affluent village is 45 minutes drive west from the city, and even gets its own nickname of Baristas and not of Rio de Janeiro. So the Olympics really won't be in Rio, but it will still help someone, right? Yes, it will help these affluent members rid the city of the poor and impoverished. The roads need to be widened, and more stadiums need to be built to host the Summer Games. One of these stadiums, named Maracana after a tribe from this area, was the cause of Brazil's government evicting a small Maracana community from the former Indian History Museum they had been living in for 6 years. I will discuss this more after this. So the Olympics won't help the area of Rio that needs it most. For it won't even be in Rio. But at least the people of Brazil are excited for the World Games. Well, like the World Cup, Brazilians oppose the Olympic Games and wish their country would spend its money more wisely. For some it means eviction. The eviction forces them out of the city where ranchers and hitmen are murdering indigenous people and a greater chance of catching the Zika virus. This promo was released for the Olympics and I immediately noticed the lack of presence by the indigenous people of Brazil. I saw many Caucasians, Latins, Asians, people of African descent, and any group I failed to mention that isn't native to Brazil. In fact, if it wasn't for few seconds of the statue of Christ and a pyramid, you would have to know the real cityscape to know you weren't in Europe or the United States. I've had enough of the elite pulling strings to further their agenda. It is time we say enough is enough.
As florestas já foram devastadas. Acabaram com nossas águas, poluíram, criaram estradas, denegriram a imagem dos povos indígenas em nome da civilização, em nome do progresso. E por isso que o índio precisa viver e está vindo para a cidade.
This is Chief Carlos Tucano, the leader of a community of indigenous people living right in the middle of Rio de Janeiro. Their home is this building, which once housed the National Indian Museum. It was abandoned in 1978 when the museum moved to another part of the city. For the past 6 years, Tucano and more than 20 others have squatted on the site.
Que foi criado em 1953, o primeiro museu do índio da América Latina, para representar a história de todos os povos indígenas do Brasil.
But this historical building is right next door to a much larger one. The Indians named this site Maracana Village because it sits in the shadow of the iconic Maracana soccer stadium. The stadium is going through a $350 million renovation to prepare for the World Cup in 2014 and the Olympics in 2016. The state of Rio de Janeiro, in charge of Olympic preparations, is in the process of purchasing the site for a reported $30 million, leading to speculation that the Indians will be kicked out.
Estamos sendo afetados pela reforma do Maracanã, que o governo federal, estadual, municipal tem interesse de demoli-las para que haja shopping esportivo, seja estacionamento, seja o que ele for necessário para eles.
The state government confirmed their intention to buy the land, but denied our interview requests. They also would not reveal their plans for the site. The Indians call the site a living museum of indigenous culture. They say it can add value to the experiences of the hundreds of thousands of sports fans expected to visit Maracanã over the next 4 years.
Olá!
Mesmo com tanto barulho, né, que é dia e noite, barulho aqui dessa rua aqui, mas tem hora que a gente até esquece, como se a gente estivesse lá no meio da mata amazônica, lá no meio da floresta, e a gente esquece o barulho, esquece a cidade, esquece tudo.
Chief Tucano sees this building as symbolic. Its fate, he believes, is connected to the culture he's fighting to preserve.
Não estou dormindo direito, preocupado com o futuro dos nossos povos, do futuro dos nossos filhos, dos nossos netos.
Looks like it didn't end well according to the BBC. This report says the police used tear gas and rubber bullets to evict them.
Especialmente aqui no Mato Grosso do Sul, como Guarani-Kaiowá, onde a gente já é subjugado, né, pelo sistema capitalista. Foram muitos já mortos, né, de nossa família, assassinados, todas as coisas, violência, ataques, né, a maioria de nossas terras indígenas já saiu a portaria. Eu não consigo entender quantos índios, quantos caiuá, quantas crianças Guarani-Kaiowá precisam ainda morrer na beira da estrada, de frio, desnutrição, da fome, né? Para poder sair a demarcação. Nós somos humanos também. Nós somos seres humanos. Hoje estou aqui falando com vocês, mas a gente não sabe amanhã, porque a gente é uma pessoa marcada. A gente sabe disso, mas a gente não tem medo.
This report from Project Censored titled Indigenous People in Brazil Murdered to Make Room for Investment Projects says that Marinalva Kehoa was stabbed 35 times 2 weeks after she protested with other indigenous leaders at the federal Supreme Court in Brasilia over a court ruling that annulled the demarcation process in the indigenous territory of the Pirate people. I highly recommend this site. Time magazine's website reports that Rio's waters are polluted, threatening the health of thousands of athletes and spectators who will descend upon the city for the 2016 Olympic Games. The country's leaders center the Olympic year facing a host of unwanted tests, which include community opposition to the Games. I am a robot reporting the truth for my owner, the Truth Seeker Third World Planet. Thank you for watching.